Hello my friends, and welcome back to another video, or welcome if you are new. My name is Erin, and today is going to be a book haul, a very large book haul. I know, I don't want to talk about it. It's not good, okay? We know I have a book buying problem. I know. That's not what this video is about. This video is a safe space to talk about books and just talk about the fact that we know we have a problem, but you know, we're not going to do anything about it right now, okay? That's not what this video is for. So, I'm going to show you all the books that I have recently acquired within the last, I think it's been 3 months since I filmed my last book haul. We've got books that were sent to me, we've got horror, we've got romance, we've got fantasy, we got all kinds of things. I tried to split it up by categories so it was a little smoother and easier to talk about. Hopefully, we'll see. I know usually I just kind of go haphazardly, so we'll see if this makes a difference, but I'm gonna try to be quick about this and not take 45 minutes to talk about all these books. I have no idea how many books there are. I did not count because I didn't even want to think about counting them. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I'm gonna skim through these because I don't know if anyone actually cares about these books that I'm about to haul, but I got some Star Wars books. I recently finished the High Republic Phase 1, so I'm on to Phase 2. So I picked up Path of Deceit by Tessa Gratton and Justina Ireland. This is the first book in Phase 2. I believe this is a YA. The second book is Quest for the Hidden City by George Mann, and this is a middle grade book. And then the third book I picked up was Convergent by Zoraida Cordova, and this is one of the adult books. These are the first 3 books in Phase 2, so these are the ones that I will obviously start with when I start reading Phase 2. And then just for fun, I got Lost Stars by Claudia Gray. I've really enjoyed the Star Wars books from Claudia Gray that I have read. So this is taking place during the reign of the Empire, and it's a romance, and it sounds really good. I enjoyed this author's work previously that I've read, so I have heard good things about this one, and I wanted to pick it up. But those are the Star Wars books I bought. I know some people don't really care about that, so I wanted to breeze through those. I also bought some books that I needed to like finish series that I'm in the middle of. So I went ahead and bought the next 2 books in the Emily Wilde's series. So this one is Map of the Other Lands, and this one is Compendium of Lost Tales. So these are the next 2 that I have to read. I really enjoyed Emily Wilde's, and I want to finish the trilogy up, so I went ahead and just got the next 2. I also picked up the next 2 in the Shady Hollow Mystery series, so Twilight Falls, which takes place during spring, and then Summer's End, which is going to take place during summer. I actually just read this one, and it was really fun, so I'm very much looking forward to reading this one next. I love the Shady Hollow series. I think they're so cute, so fun, just like a cozy, easy little mystery series, and it reminds me of Animal Crossing, which I just started playing again recently, and I started Over My Island, so it's been really fun to like read this at the same time as playing Animal Crossing. So I've just had a good time, and I want to finish it. I'm sure these 2 will be no surprise to anyone if you've seen my last few videos. I got the last 2 in the Thursday Murder Club mystery series, or the last 2 that are out, obviously. I know another one is coming out in August? I could be wrong, but I got The Bullet That Missed and The Last Devil to Die. So these are the next 2 that I have to read, and I've been loving this series. I gave book 1 and book 2 5 stars. I just think it is so much fun, and I of course have to continue the series. So just went ahead and bought these. I knew that I was gonna need them. Then during Indie Bookstore Day, I placed an order and I got these 3 books, I think. I feel like I got 4, but now I don't remember if that's true or not. Well, these are the 3 that I have in front of me. Witches on the Road Tonight by Sherry Holman. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know anything about this, but I really like the cover, and anything that has to do with witches or have witchy vibes, I'm really into. Like I said, don't know anything about it. I found it, looked at it, said, sure. Exposes the dark compulsions and desperate longings that haunt several generations of an Appalachian family. I don't know, but it looked cool, it sounded cool. I decided I wanted it. Another book that I haven't heard anyone talking about, I think it's a new horror book, and again, don't know much about it, but it's called Midnight in Soap Lake by Matthew Sullivan. The cover is so bizarre. It says it's a thriller, so it might be like a thriller, like verging on horror, I'm not sure. But from what I've gathered about the plot of this, it's about a husband and wife who move to Washington, and the place that they live is kind of like odd. There's some like quirks about it, but the husband then goes on a trip to Poland or something for his job. He has to do some like research or something, and so she stays behind by herself, and then a boy comes out of the wilderness and like leaps into her arms or something like that, and she gets involved in his twisty story and what happened. I don't know. Sounds weird. Haven't heard anything about it. Looked cool. Sounded weird. I said, why not? And then the last book I bought during Indie Bookstore Day, I got Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. I've heard so many people talking about this. I know it's a romantasy. I don't know anything else about it. I've just been seeing everyone talking about it, and I'm going on a fantasy journey this year, so I just was like, you know what, if everyone's talking about it, I should read it. So that's what I did. Sounds like the main character is gonna go into a deadly competition to save her sister and all the debts that her family is in. So yeah, I've read a lot of competition fantasy in the last few weeks, so I want to see if I actually like this one. I could hate it, but it sounds weird and it sounds interesting and it has good reviews, which excites me. So as for like horror mystery thriller that I've recently bought, I got She's a Lamb by Meredith Hambrock. I really got this for the cover. I think it looks really bizarre and just interesting. The cover's so pretty though, so eye-catching. I believe this is about the main character who wants to become an actress. She wants to be famous, and I think she becomes delusional or something. Like, she becomes insane as she's trying to get to her goal. I don't know, it kind of reminded me of Black Swan when I was reading it. Not all the way, but it felt like it had some Black Swan-esque vibes, which I really enjoyed Black Swan the movie. So, I don't know, looks weird. Could hate it. Honestly, I really could hate it, but I'm hoping that I'll like it. It also reminded me of All's Well by Mona Awad, which I actually really liked, which also reminded me of Black Swan. So if I like those two and this is also like this, if this is also like those, then maybe I'll like this. Who knows? Another book that I've heard nothing about, this is Best of All Worlds by Kenneth Opel, or Opel. I don't know how to pronounce this author's last name. I believe this is a YA, I think. Yeah, this is a YA. It's also very short. So the main character and his family go on vacation to this like cabin, and it's supposed to just be like a weekend away, and when they wake up, they're under this dome and they can't leave. And then I think 3 years later, another family arrives to the cabin, and they hope that this is going to be like their chance to escape. It sounds very weird. Very weird. I really like the cover though, and I'm hoping I like it. It kind of reminds me of a movie I watched, and now I cannot remember the name of the movie at all, but the cover reminded me of that movie poster, and then the plot kind of reminded me of the movie. I don't think I really liked the movie, but this does intrigue me, so I'm hoping that I actually really like it. Then I got The Spirit Bears Its Teeth by Andrew Joseph White. This is a gothic horror with, I think, some fantasy elements. The cover is so pretty. Also sprayed edges. I know people hate sprayed edges, but I love them. They are so freaking cool. Maybe I'm late to the sprayed edges trend, but I think they're fun and I like them. So I don't know if that's just me, but I really like these ones. So the main character is trans and they do not want to be married off, but they come down with this sickness. It's called veil sickness because, you know, they can communicate with the dead, and they get shipped off to this school and sanatorium. And then I think the dead start asking the main character for help. Sounds very eerie, sounds very interesting. I'm really excited to read this one. And then this isn't really horror, but I ended up picking Strange Houses by Uketsu up. I read Strange Pictures earlier this year, had a lot of fun with it. It wasn't exactly what I expected, and I didn't like that it was being marketed as horror because it leaned more like creepy, eerie mystery. But now that I know what to expect from this author's writing, I'm really excited to read this one. And this one has like floor plans, like house plans. It looks very cool. So I'm very excited to have this one now and see if I like it more or less the same amount as Strange Pictures. I just think that this author's writing style is very fun and different, and it makes the experience more interesting. I went and got Beartown by Frederick Bachman. This is now the 4th book I have in my possession by this author. I have read 0 books by this author, but I just know that I'm really gonna like them. I hope, because if not, then this is all gonna be a huge letdown. I tried reading this book last year, but I was in a really bad reading slump and I didn't get very far, so I want to give it another chance. But I unhauled my copy because the copy I had was the ugly like TV movie cover, and I just couldn't have it. So I went and picked up this one because I like it way more. But I am going to give this one a chance. I think that I will like it more now that I'm not in a year-long reading slump. All I know about this one is what I've read from the first few pages. I think I made it 70 pages. But this town really relies on hockey, and I think something happens before or after a hockey game that like changes the whole town. Don't know what, don't know anything else, just know that. The next books I bought because I am going through a hardcore Greek mythology phase right now. This isn't the first time I've gone through a Greek mythology phase. I took a class in college, became obsessed, and now I just want to read everything Greek mythology because I read Clytemnestra a few months ago and loved it. So I have gone a little bit crazy with Greek mythology retellings, but I have to, okay? So I picked up Ariadne by Jennifer Saint. I've heard a lot about this one, but Ariadne is the sister of the Minotaur, and this is about Theseus coming to kill him. So very excited. I am just loving Greek mythology retellings, so I can't wait to get to this one. I picked up Babylonia by Costanza Casati after I read Clytemnestra. It's by the same author, and Clytemnestra was amazing. I did not read what this one's about at all, just saw how beautiful the cover is, how beautiful the sprayed edges are, and said, yes, please give it to me, thank you so much. So I actually don't know what this is about. A common woman, the governor she married, the king who loved them both. Welcome to the empire of gods and men, and the one queen destined to rule them all. Sounds amazing, okay? If it's anything like Clytemnestra, I'm going to love it. I picked up Stone Blind by Natalie Haynes. This is about Medusa, and I really want to read a book about Medusa because I haven't yet read one. And I did see some people saying that this isn't exactly what they wanted because I believe this is told from a lot of different perspectives, so I'm still excited to see what it's like, and hopefully I really enjoy it. This one I haven't heard anyone talking about, but the cover is absolutely stunning. And this is Medea by Rosie Hewlett. Look at how gorgeous that is. Oh, so pretty. It's also kind of chunky. I do know about Medea. I did read about her in college, so I'm very much looking forward to this one. This is about Jason and the Argonauts when he comes to get the fleece from her father, and Medea wants a way out, so she decides to help him with her father and the fleece if she can escape. I got another Jennifer Saint book. This is Electra. Again, don't know much about this one because I was really just picking up Greek mythology books and buying them because I wanted them. So this actually does have Clytemnestra in it as well, so I have already read a book about Clytemnestra, but now I do know a little bit more about her. So this is about Clytemnestra marrying Agamemnon, Princess Cassandra of Troy, and Electra, Clytemnestra and Agamemnon's youngest daughter. So we're gonna get 3 women in this book, and I think it sounds very interesting. I of course had to pick up The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I just read Circe by Madeline Miller and really enjoyed it. I know everyone freaking talks about Song of Achilles, so I wanted to join in. I figured if I was getting Greek mythology books, I would have to get this one because everyone talks about it. So I went ahead, picked it up. Then I got 1,000 Ships by Natalie Haynes. This is by the author of Stone Blind. Yeah, it says, from the Trojan woman whose fates now lie in the hands of the Greeks, to the Amazon princess who fought Achilles on their behalf, from Penelope waiting the return of Odysseus, to the 3 goddesses who feud started it all. We're gonna get a lot of women perspectives in this that we don't get to see a lot just when the stories are told, so very excited about this one. And then this last one I picked just randomly. I haven't heard much about it. I think it just came out. This is Those Fatal Flowers by Shannon Ives. So this is Greco-Roman mythology, so it's going to be a little bit different, but it says that it also talks about the Roanoke colony like disappearance. So I don't know. Greco-Roman mythology and the mystery of the vanished Roanoke colony collide in this epic debut filled with sapphic longing and female rage. I mean, do I have to say any more? Sounds amazing. I haven't shown you guys all the books that I got from my book subscription services, but I recently subscribed to Evernight, and I got my first Evernight book, which was The Staircase in the Woods by Chuck Wendig. So this is the edition of that. I've been looking at this book before it even came out, and I wanted to read it. I haven't read a Chuck Wendig yet, but this one sounds weird. It's about a group of friends who find a staircase in the woods. Sounds very creepy and eerie. So I do like this edition a lot. I think it's very cool. I like the edges and how it looks like writing carved into wood. I think that's really, really cool. So yeah, I'm excited to have this edition and to read this one. Aardvark, I got the Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. If you know me, you're probably like, Erin, why did you pick up another Stephen Graham Jones book? Because I have FOMO when I see people reading his books, and I just want to love one so badly. So I did decide to pick this one up, mainly because a lot of people were saying that it doesn't feel like his typical writing style, and if that's true, then I might actually enjoy this one, because it is the issue that I have with his books is the writing style. So I'm hoping that I actually like this. I believe it's a vampire story. Also got Julie Chan is Dead, which is a thriller about 2 twins. The one dies and then the other takes her life, like pretends to be her, and she's like an influencer, so she just takes over, and it sounds very interesting. I've heard a lot of good things about this one, and I wanted to try it for myself. I got King of Ashes by S.A. Cosby from Book of the Month. I know nothing about this thriller, but I have read one S.A. Cosby before, and I really, really liked it. This one says, a son returning home, a dangerous debt, secrets about to ignite, and a family about to be consumed by flames. So I really enjoyed the S.A. Cosby I read before, and I like how fast-paced and easy they were to read, so I'm looking forward to giving this author another try. Then I got Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by E.V.E. Schwab. The only thing I know about this is it's sapphic, it's vampires, and it's toxic. Sounds pretty good. I've only read one other V.E. Schwab, which was Gallant, and I did enjoy it, so looking forward to giving this author another try as well and seeing if this is worth all the hype that it's gotten right now. Then my newest aardvark picks, I got Left of Forever by Tara DeWitt. This is a second chance romance, which I usually don't love, but the cover really got me, and I liked that it was going to be the parents dropping their kid off at college and then road tripping back to their like hometown in Oregon, and that's how they were gonna like reconcile. I don't know, it sounded cute, looks pretty, why not? I picked up The Starving Saints by Caitlin Starling. I did not love The Death of Jane Lawrence by this author, but I want to give this author another try, and this one looks so cool. The cover is amazing. I don't know that much about it. The cover is so cool. I believe this was like a special edition of this book, but all I know, this is medieval horror. It says it's going to be like a fever dream. There's bees involved. I don't know. Another book that everyone can't stop talking about, The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. I've never read this author before. Again, trying to dive into fantasy more this year. I've heard a lot about this author. I know that they make more darker fantasy books, so something that I'm looking forward to. I've heard it's like funny and fun, and I don't know. We'll see. I picked up some romance. I picked up Abby Jimenez, Say You'll Remember Me. I've enjoyed the previous Abby Jimenez books I've read. I really, really, really enjoy her writing. She really feels like Emily Henry to me. I know that some people haven't liked that comparison, but she really does feel like Emily Henry to me, and I love Emily Henry. So very much looking forward to this one. I have seen a lot of people not like it. They said it's kind of cringy, and a lot of, like, was it ACOTAR people are mentioned in here? I don't know. I know nothing about ACOTAR, so I don't know. But it looks cute. I'm still going to give it a chance and see if I like it. I picked up King of Wrath by Anna Huang. This is book 1 in the Kings of Sin series. I read The Striker by Anna Huang because Jan got it for me for my birthday, and I loved it. So I wanted to read more Anna Huang, so I went with this. I don't know much about it, but I just really liked her writing, and I wanted to see what her other books were like. I think this is like a billionaire CEO kind of romance. I don't know. Picked up Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. I know this is an age gap romance. I've heard a lot of people really, really enjoyed it, and it did age gap really well. I also love Ali Hazelwood. She writes really fun and easy romance for me to read, so I'm very much looking forward to this one and seeing if I enjoy it. Then I picked up Lights Out by Nevessa Allen. I bought this because Justin actually read this before me, because I told him to read it because I thought it would be funny, because he didn't know what it was about. So I made him read it via audiobook, and then he actually really liked it, so he told me that I should read it, and I actually did. I finished it yesterday, so I did enjoy it. I gave it 4 stars. I picked up the Saint of Steel series by T. Kingfisher. After reading Sword Heart by T. Kingfisher, I knew I needed these. I've actually already read Paladin's Grace, which is the first book, and it was so much fun, so cute, so wonderful. I gave this 4 stars, and I just have the other 3 to read. So I have Paladin's Strength, Paladin's Hope, and Paladin's Faith. And I love these covers so much. I got these from Blackwell's, and they are just so cute. I love them so much. I picked up Isabella Nag and the Pot of Basil by Oliver Darkshire. This is like a cozy, fun little fantasy, and I really enjoy cozy fantasy. It's probably one of my favorite, well, I don't know yet. I haven't read enough fantasy to say that, but I think it's one of my favorite versions of fantasy that I've read so far. And I don't know much about it, but it says it's a cozy, fun fantasy, and I think there's a talking plant, or there are talking plants or something like that. I don't know. Sounds cute. I picked up A Harvest of Hearts by Andrea Eames. I picked this up because it was pitched as similar to Howl's Moving Castle, which I absolutely love. Howl's Moving Castle is one of my favorite Studio Ghibli movies, so I just wanted to read something similar to it, and this one is supposed to be like, yeah, it says it's in the beloved tradition of Howl's Moving Castle, a whimsical and unforgettable story of fantastic adventure, common sense, and the power of love to overcome the greatest obstacles. It also has really cute sprayed edges, so I was like, yep, sounds good to me. If you watched my most recent vlog, you would have seen that I read A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen, and I really liked this book that I went ahead and bought A Curse Carved in Bone, which is book 2. So I have them both now, and they also have really cool sprayed edges. They're very like metallic looking, and this is a romantasy with Norse mythology in it, and it's been very interesting, very fun, slightly predictable, but it's been a fun series so far, so I'm very much looking forward to reading book 2. This next book was an accident. I'm trying to stay away from YA fantasy, YA horror, YA anything, honestly. YA just hasn't been doing it for me. And this I accidentally got. I didn't know it was YA, so I'm a little upset, but it still sounds really cool. It's For She Is Wrath by Emily Varga. It's a very pretty cover, and I believe the main character was framed for a crime she didn't commit, and she's been counting down her days in prison so she can go exact her revenge. So it looks really cool, sounds really cool. A little disappointed it's YA, but I'm gonna go into it anyways and hope that I just really like it and I don't even notice it's YA. How to Get the Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, because everyone is talking about this book. It's so freaking pretty. I do have One Dark Window by this author, which I believe is somewhere in the stack that I'm going through right now, so you'll see it. I would like to read One Dark Window before I read this in case I don't like their writing and I need to prepare like for it or something. I don't know, but I would like to read One Dark Window first, so I am going to hold off on reading this one, but it's gorgeous, so gorgeous. I picked up Behooved by M. Stevenson. I think this is a cozy fantasy. Yeah, it says a charming slow burn fantasy featuring a duty-bound noblewoman with a chronic illness, a prince who would rather be in a library than on a throne, and a magical ride through a world of cozy enchantment. Again, love cozy fantasy, and these have pretty pink sprayed edges, kind of like pinky purple, and the cover is really cute, so I wanted to read this one. Because I enjoyed A Fate Inked in Blood, I got The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen. This is book 1 of like 5 in this series, I think. I don't know. Justin also saw this book and thought I might like it, so I was kind of intrigued by it. It's very cool. The cover is kind of like really shiny, but it says it's a sweeping, sizzling fantasy romance filled with political intrigue and passionate love. I guess a warrior princess is going to try to kill a king. That's what it sounds like. Another popular book that I wanted to check out was The Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wang. This is chunky, but I think it's just one book. I don't think this is a series. Yeah, it's a standalone, just like Blood Over Brighthaven, which I really wanted to read more standalones because I have gotten myself into so many series since I started reading fantasy that I really needed a little bit of a break. So I've heard good things about this one. Don't know if it's going to be for me because I really don't know what my taste in fantasy is right now, but I am willing to give it a try. I told you One Dark Window would pop up. Like I said, I bought book 1. I haven't bought book 2, Two Twisted Crowns, or whatever it's called, because I really wanted to see if I liked this first, which I do want to read this before I read The Night and the Moth, so I'm hoping to get to this soon, because if I like it, then obviously I have to get Two Twisted Crowns, but also then I can read The Night and the Moth. I did read the first chapter of this book in a vlog, and it was very confusing. There were something about cards, and the cards meant something. I don't know. It was very confusing, but I do want to hopefully get to this one soon so I can see if I like it. Then I got Faebound by Sara El Arifi. I think that's how you say this author's name. I could be wrong. I did look it up, but I don't know if I pronounced the author's name correctly. So please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I have heard good things about Faebound. I think the second book just came out. It's called like Cursebound or something. It looks really, really cool. It's about two elven sisters who become imprisoned in the intoxicating world of the Fae, where danger and love lie in wait. I don't know, sounds very interesting. I haven't read a lot of books with Fae in them, so I want to expand my horizons, and I thought this one sounded really cool. Just recently, I picked up The Road of Bones by Demi, I don't know, Winters. This is book 1 in the Ashen series. I think there's Vikings in this. I don't know. I'm trying different things. I'm just trying to read all kinds of things, okay? Yes, it's a Viking-inspired romantic fantasy. A woman fleeing a ruthless assassin accidentally joins forces with a group of mercenaries and must use all her cunning to escape with her life and her heart intact. Sounds cool. Again, different than what I've been reading. I do like a little bit of romance, though, so I feel like I'm trying to give romantasy time to get me to fall in love with it, but this one did sound very cool. So of course I had to pick up Babel by R.F. Kuang. I love the Poppy War trilogy. It was so good. Just recently read Yellowface, and I also really liked that, so of course I had to get Babel. Also, is it Babel or Babel? Because I've been seeing everyone say either or, so I don't know if it's Babel or Babel. Is there a right or wrong? Am I wrong? Is it? I don't know, but I really wanted to read this one. I feel like this one sounds like it's gonna make me feel really kind of dumb, though, because when I was reading the plot, I was like, oh, because there's a lot of like language and stuff in here, like it's about language. So it sounds like it's gonna be a little hard for my brain to understand, so I might have to push this off and read a little bit more fantasy to make sure I know what I'm reading. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We've made it to the last stack, everybody. Hang tight. These are all the books that were sent to me. First up, Frederick Bachman's My Friends. Like I said, I have 4 Frederick Bachman books in my possession. Haven't read a single one. I hope I like this author. I know this is about a painting and a group of friends, and that's all I really know. I got The Ones We Love by Anna Snoextra. I also got an ARC. Yeah, here it is. I got an ARC and a final copy of this book. So I know it's a thriller, and it's about a family keeping secrets, I believe. Then I got Storybook Ending. This one sounds really cute. From what I read about it, it's about this woman who writes a note, like leaves a note inside a book to a guy that works at the bookstore because she has a crush on him. Another woman finds a note thinking that that guy sent it to her. So then they get into this like triangle of note passing, and they each think that the guy's involved. Yeah, I don't know. Sounds really cute. Sounds funny. Sounds like something I would like. Then I got The Wasp Trap by Mark Edwards. This is coming out September 16th. This is also a thriller, I believe. Dinner party in a beautiful Notting Hill townhouse turns into a sinister game as 6 old friends are forced to spill their darkest secrets or else. I love dinner parties that turn into dangerous games. That's a trope that happens way more than you think it would, and it is a very fun trope. I got a copy of The Last Session by Julia Bartz sent to me. I really, really liked the writing retreat. I've heard not as good things about this one. I think it takes place in the desert in New Mexico, which is funny because I used to live in New Mexico. When a catatonic woman shows up at a psychiatric unit, social worker Thea swears she knows her from somewhere. She's shocked to discover the patient holds a link to a traumatic time in her own past. That's what it's about. Then I got The Second Chance Cinema by Thea Weiss. This comes out October 7th, and this is about an engaged couple that discovers a magical movie theater that changes what they know about themselves. So like they go to the cinema and their memories are like on the screen. And I think they're both like keeping secrets from each other. Sounds really cool. Sounds very like magical realism kind of vibes maybe. I got The Killer Question by Janice Hallett, which is coming out September 23rd. I love Janice Hallett. I have loved everything that I've read from her so far except for the Twyford Code. I didn't like that one, but everything else I've loved. So I'm so excited to have this one. Sue and Mal Eastwood run an isolated rural pub called The Case is Altered, where a weekly trivia game has revived its flagging fortunes. That is, until a body is found in the nearby river. Soon after, a mysterious new team arrives and shakes up the diverse field of regulars by scoring top marks in every round every week. Meanwhile, Sue and Mal have a secret of their own. Before arriving here, they had to leave town, and whatever happened back then seems to have finally caught up with them. 5 years later, the pub lies derelict and their nephew Dominic is determined to make a documentary about their story. What happened at this unassuming pub, and can a single question really kill? This sounds amazing. I love Janice Hallett's mysteries, so I'm probably going to devour this. I also got sent these two books from Quirk Books. This is Crafting for Sinners by Jenny Kiefer. This comes out October 7th. And this is My Body by Lindsay King Miller. This is coming out August 5th. I've actually already read Crafting for Sinners. I liked it. I didn't love it. I think I gave it like a 3.5 maybe. The plot was really fun. It's about a woman who gets fired from her job at a craft store because they find out that she's living with a woman and they are in a relationship, and she ends up going back to steal from that job, and when they find out, they lock her in the store. She realizes that there's like more going on at this craft store. It was okay. I was a little disappointed, but the plot was really fun. For the most part, the plot was really fun. This one is about a single mom who is gay and her daughter starts acting really weird, and she ends up enlisting the help from her estranged family because they're Catholic and they want her daughter to go through an exorcism. So this one sounds very intriguing. I love possession stories, so I am really hopeful that this one turns out to be really good. This one was sent to me and it is a Greek mythology, which I don't know how that happened, but The Palace of Eros by Caro de Robertis. I probably butchered that name. I'm so sorry. This is a retelling of the story of Psyche and Eros with a shocking subversive twist. Can I speak? No, I can't. This one sounds really, really cool. Again, I've been eating up Greek mythology, so hopefully this one's really fun. I got Far and Away by Amy Popel. I think that's how you say it. This says that it's about two strangers, Greta and Lucy, who have agreed to house swap and they're going to regret it. This kind of reminds me of the Christmas movie The Holiday with Jack Black and Cameron Diaz and Kate Winslet and Jude Law. That's who's in it. It reminds me of that, but not Christmassy. And the last two books in this haul / the last two books that I were sent, this is Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole and Glow of the Everflame by Penn Cole. These are fantasy books I don't know much about. They have really pretty sprayed edges though. Look at those. Ooh! So pretty. In a mortal world colonized by the gods and ruled over by the Descended, their cruel magical offspring, Diem Bellator, yearns to escape her poor village. And then her mother suddenly disappears. Sounds very intriguing. I've heard good things about these books, so I am very much looking forward to giving them a read. And that is it, my friends. Thank you so much to the publishing companies that sent me these books. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know that that was a lot of books. I'm so sorry. Hopefully it wasn't too boring. I tried to go as fast as humanly possible. If you enjoyed and you watched to the end, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, something, just a stack of books emoji, because that's what I have in front of me. If you did enjoy, feel free to subscribe to my channel. We can become friends, talk about books, horrifying books, thrilling books, romance books, fantasy books, all kinds of books. And with that being said, I hope you're having a great day, night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!